So, welcome to the Magic Bringers Rising Chats for the week of September 5th through the 11th. Now, it is going to be an emotional week. It's going to be a bit of a reset. So, let's get the messages, the divine guidance, and light language healing that you need to keep grounded in your intuition, powered by your soul self, and manifesting your big dream. Welcome to Magic Bringers Rising Chats, a show by Super Secret Powers. I'm your host, Lindsay Baldessano, and let's get ready for a dose of energy healing, channeled guidance, and humor to keep your intuitive flow open and your roots grounded so you can lead the life of healing, spiritual purpose, and magic that you want. So let's dive right into the week ahead, September 5th through the 11th. It's going to be an emotional week because we have Mercury retrograde in peacekeeping Libra. We have the full moon in dreamy Pisces, and we have Sun, and the Sun is going to trine Uranus in Virgo and Taurus. So those are some pretty hefty emotions we'll be building this week. The last thing we want to do this week is to totally give in to the feelings that we have to put ourselves aside for others. So this is still a week where we want to stay grounded enough where we can feel and work from our intuitive emotional guidance, and maybe do a little bit more problem solving around life, especially home life. And I want to say like work life. It almost feels like relationships and looking at how all of our small groups, the people closest to us, whether it's in a work setting or in a home setting, or even I guess a friends group would count in this case, how the dynamic is going with that, how the flow is that going with that, and looking where perhaps we might need a reset. But next week will be a lot slower. It'll be a lot more focused. So you'll have the ability to really implement or dig into any of the plans you've been trying to be making. So hold on. Just hold on. It's all coming to a head. And of course, it's all coming to a head for a reason. But this is really the last week we're having a really fully direct stir up of foundational life energies. We won't see too many more Uranus direct things from here on out, and they won't be all clumped together quite like they've been for the last 2 to 3 weeks. So it's okay. It's all okay. And I think that as we approach October, if we've been the eclipse season, if we've been aware and making conscious, intentional choices along the way, I really don't think this next eclipse season is going to hit us, hit us in the gut. I don't think it's going to require us to make too many huge changes. But we still have to do the work this week. And of course, we have to do the work next week, but it'll be a different kind of work required because there's a lot more Taurus energy coming through next week. All right. So Taurus is slower. You can really tap into your feelings of luxury, relaxation, and even like just getting into that steady grind and rhythm. Those are the kind of energies that Taurus will bring next week. That will seem like a relief after these last couple weeks. So, I had to revamp this show, this particular episode. So I don't really have a question, but how have these last few weeks been? Like, this is probably a really good point where you can stop and say, like, holy hell, what really has just shifted in my life? What has come up as the major stumbling block? But go ahead and tell me in the comments so we can chat about it, so we can get it all up in the air, all up out in the open, sorry. Because once you kind of do that, it comes more forward to your consciousness and you're able to deal with it better. But B, you'll also be able to see the patterns in other people's responses and how just this really isn't necessarily a personal thing about you, that many people in the collective probably have to have these attunements as well as you. So you're like, you're doing the work. You're on par. It can be very validating. So please chat about it in the comments. Um, there is this question. It's not like the question I necessarily want an answer to here in the comments, but there is this wondering almost of, are we looking at our ideals or are we looking at our non-negotiables? Because ideals are dreams. We can try and live by them as much as we can, but non-negotiables have to be a lot more practical. Non-negotiables have to live in the present moment. What you need in order to go forward for your next day or next 3 days, what you need to look at so that next week goes off, kind of good without too many hitches. But ideals are like very far away and very removed from the situation. So it's, it can be very easy to get into the blame game or feeling like you're a victim because other people aren't holding the same ideals as you. But because ideals are so far away, so far removed from how, say, somebody's going to react when, something didn't go their way, and then like you're in this relationship with them and, you have to deal with their reaction. Your ideals almost don't mean anything unless you're willing to bring them forward as a present moment non-negotiable. So if there is some kind of conflict, you really have to sit down and ask yourself, like, well, what is my non-negotiable in this moment? What kind of communication do I need? What kind of conversation do I need to have around this? What is it that I need? And also probably then you'll also be able to see the difference in what they might need in that moment. The words that they might need to hear. But again, Virgo, Libra, Virgo, Libra, Virgo, Libra. We're kind of going back and forth through this with, very analytical, very let's get it done, very like pushy, pushy, pushy kind of energy, and the very relaxed, how can we bring everybody together energy. So hold your core feelings, keep tapping into who it is, who that soul self is, that deep, quiet soul self. The one who really expresses soul truth, universal love, and figure out what it is that your core self needs to come to bring into this moment. And there's also this energy of looking at repercussions, looking at consequences. Like maybe I couldn't get my bills figured out this month, so I'm short again. I knew I had to make some kind of movement on finding a new place. I didn't, and now I have to stay in a hotel until I figure out how to, get a new place. Like whatever it is, there's some kind of like this point where we're weaponizing 3D truth against ourselves, or maybe against the people who are very close to us who are also in the situation. But the guides do want you to know that none of this means that everything can change in an instant. And to keep at it, I want to encourage you to try everything, open up to all the possibility that is available. Even if it seems kind of crazy, they almost want to see that commitment that you are ready to change this situation, that you are in full alignment, even if it means, pushing your boundaries a little bit in something. Because this is a time of transition for a lot of people. There's some crazy stuff going on in the world. And I don't think we can take it for granted that we won't be affected by that change on some level. Um, but we have to always be in this space where we're making the right decision for ourselves from your authentic and deep soul level. And sometimes, like especially if you're apartment hunting or if you're trying to search for the next job opportunity or something along those lines, the process is kind of blind because you see what comes through on a daily basis for, listings, job recs, all that kind of stuff. But you don't necessarily know which one you're going to get or if something better is going to come out next week. It's a very blind process, and we have to be able to trust ourselves that in that moment, we're making the decision that we have to make for ourselves, for our future, for our potentialities. And we have to be able to feel that truth, still feel it in body. So don't step away from your feelings this week and maybe tap into a little bit of a bigger vision. Maybe not like the 5-year plan, the whole 5-year plan. Maybe it's a little bit compartmentalized based on, this one thing that's been coming up during this whole Uranus and Mercury stirring of the pot situation. But, so if it's like you really need help getting on track with your bills, tap into just that one thing and say, like, what would it be like to be debt free? Are you looking for the next job? What would it be like to be held as appreciated and secure, financially secure, to be taken care of by a company for the services I provide them? You really tap into that one little big vision that would kind of change the situation for you. That would bring you to a whole new level of what you think about and expect from the world and from the opportunities that come to you. So tell me then. Tell me in the comments, what is that one thing that would change for you? What is that one big level issue that would be like, oh my God, that would just be so amazing if I found my most ideal clients and it didn't feel like I had to work. I just had to show up and be myself. What would that be for? Like, tell me in the comments. What does that look like for you? I'm fine. Oh, I'm actually, by the time you see this video, I've already done this. But I'm going in for oral surgery tomorrow and I'm a little freaked out. I have some very good make me loopy drugs lined up to help me through this, but I am so phobic of like needles and people poking me and taking things out of me. Blood tests are awful. The last panic attack I had. But I'm doing this. I'm getting this done. And it's been a little bit of a weird situation going into this in the Mercury retrograde or the pre-Mercury retrograde even, because everything was like up in the air about when it would get done. So it's just like, all right, I think this is finally it. Like I kind of feel like, yeah, this is the energy around this has settled down. This is just going to happen and we're going to get this over with. But so by the next time you see me, I might have teeth and repurpled hair and like I'll look like a completely different person. And that's what I've been working toward. And that's what I've been holding my intentions around. All right, maybe not looking like a completely different person, but really upgrading my appearance, how I feel about myself, my body, how I feel. Yeah. So I'm living out this change as it's happening here. But what is it for you? Tell me in the comments. So while we're talking about the cosmic energy and the guidance and the healing and the expansion and awakening that we need, I do want to say that intuition isn't something that goes against regular planning. Like put it on your planner, put it on your calendar. It is not antithema. In fact, the best way to plan for anybody who is already awakening to their intuitive abilities is to use intuition to really plan things out. And it's not hard. And it's really not that complicated. In fact, I made a whole course about it. I call it Dreamcasting Your Year. It's a book, or at least it used to be a book. It's still a book. But I've taken the lessons from the book that I wrote and I really plotted it out in much more general terms because I think I wrote the book for business so that it applies to, all life situations. And it's really a unique process. So it helps you plan your year out. Really coming from the stance of cosmic influence, of soul enlightenment and awakening. But it's not really like any other planner you've ever seen because it's truly holistic. And it's not about, learning to suck it up or grind through something. And it's really more about you coming into alignment with your energy so that you can create new patterns and new habits. But there's a lot of support around that. I don't just tell you to change your habits and that's it. Because this is also a tool for your enlightenment and planning for your further expansion into consciousness, into bringing the lessons home. Now, of course, you get worksheets and you get ways to help you and pull the gems of intuition and put them into more practical terms, more goal setting kind of activities that we all need. But because this is a process about alignment, we really spend a lot of time using meditation and using energy exercises to really put you in the right frame of mind, the right kind of meditative quality that will help you adjust your energy, that will help you bring forward the bigger vision, that will help you root and anchor these manifestations into your 3D life. It will ignite your life because it's all coming from you and what you want and what you feel confident in and what you can bring your unique and beautiful, loving presence to in this world. And until September 18th, it's $97 and you get this forever, and it's an ever-growing library of little hints and tips and techniques and worksheets that will help you plan and really begin to understand how you are, with every choice and every breath, co-creating the experience you want to have or that you can have. If we're learning to let go of our karma and let go of the patterns that are holding us back. This is all kind of built into this beautiful dream casting process. And I really hope I can help lead you through this so that you get the technique down, so that you get, the intrinsic lessons that are meant for you to learn about being a powerful co-creator in your life. All right, and it's $97 until September 18th. So, get on that while there's that good price. And in December, I'll be dropping the cosmic events for the year, my kind of overall energy report about that will help you learn how to plan how your busy times are going to go, how the shifts are going to help you, how, the influences of the year and the guides really want this to, play out for you. You need this information so that you can bring your awareness to it in the moment, so that you can leave space on your calendar for when things are about to get a little weird. Or, Mercury retrograde is about to drop some very different lessons that you hadn't planned for. We're going to learn to plan around that. And of course, this flows with the moon, it flows with the lunar cycle, our natural emotional rhythms, and all of that beautiful stuff. So that planning doesn't seem like you beating yourself over the head with coulds, woulds, and should haves. All right, so go grab it. I'm going to leave the link in the description for this video. And I hope to see you in the Dreamcasting class. All right. So now we're going to do a little bit of light language. So I just want you to get calm, get a little bit meditative, just kind of zone out a little bit as you listen to this. You don't even have to watch it if you don't want to watch it. I can't tell you, like, if I'm actually going to speak words or anything, even if they're, light language words, because we haven't pulled this through yet. Take a couple deep breaths. Into receiving. Open to all the good ways in which things can be different. Different does not mean bad. Different does not mean bad. Different can be miraculous. Different can feel like winning the lottery. We need to release the fear that has crowded your sense of hope, your sense of clear seeing, clear expression of what you feel the future can hold for you. Make the decision to follow the clear truth, as easy as it feels when it can turn to joy. Just turn your face to joy and move in that direction. It's the energy of joy pulls you along. May Taurus help you find your pleasure, open you to more pleasure. Pleasure that can help heal groups and relationships. Eclipse and the course of your closest ones to you. A perfect harmonious solution that is more than you. It can be in alignment with that pleasure. So you can radiate the energy of that solution. To name the collective for this healing so it is available for each and every one of you who experiences this healing with us. This can be a week of hope if you let it to be. And we ask that you let it in, let it in, let it in. Let it sink deeply in. Allow yourself to experience pleasurable trust that this is all where it could be leading. That perfect, harmonious, joyful solution, balanced solution. This is all where it is leading. Feel it in your gut. Feel it in your feet. Feel it in your toes. Let that yes energy fill you and give you peace. Waitoyoko. Thank you for participating in this light language healing and for showing up to the Magic Bringers Rising chat. So if you'd like to receive more light language healing and codes and more messages from guides, and if you want to stay in touch with your intuition while you're developing it, growing in trust with it, and helping you to lead an aligned and beautiful, powerful, soul-filled life and mission, then don't forget to like, follow, subscribe, and keep talking to me on Super Secret Powers. All right. Have a good one. And I will see you next week where things get a little woo. Finally, we can come back down into body and enjoy some Taurus energy. All right. See you next week.